What do you know about Hispanic Heritage Month?
When I have a worry-filled mind, I like to wander outside. No telling what we might find. Birds calling, worms crawling, leaves falling down from above. Oh, I plant my feet on the ground. I keep my head in the clouds. I let my feelings out loud. I hear joy calling, fear crawling, tears falling down out of love.
Welcome, friends. This is A here. Today we're going to talk a bit about Hispanic Heritage Month, as I mentioned at the beginning. But before we get started, I wanted to take some time to check in with our feelings and check in with our zones. You may remember the zones of regulation each represent a different way that we may be feeling in any moment. And none of the zones are good or bad. They just help us better understand and communicate how we are feeling and maybe what we might need. And so I'm going to tell you a bit about the different zones, and then I'm going to ask you to find an object around your space that matches the color zone you're in right now. The blue zone means that you are feeling tired or slow moving. Maybe you're feeling blue or sad or a little depressed. The green zone means that you are feeling really comfortable. You're feeling calm or settled in your body. The yellow zone means that you are feeling like you're losing control. Maybe things are starting to get overwhelming or confusing. Maybe you're feeling worried or distracted by something. The red zone means that you are out of control. You are feeling like you can't really control your thoughts or maybe even your actions. Maybe your voice is really loud or you feel out of control of your body. Your brain may just feel really busy or crowded. You may feel like you can't control your thoughts or think clearly. As I said, none of these zones are good or bad, but there are different ways that we can understand these zones and understand ourselves, and different things we can do to help move from zone to zone or feel more comfortable and settled. One of those things is mindfulness, and if you haven't already watched Hot Cocoa Calm, that's one way we can practice mindfulness. At the end of this episode and all of my lessons, we always practice mindfulness together as well. So, will you go ahead and identify what zone you're in? I'll do the same. Let's find an object that matches the zone we're each in right now. Did you find your object? Great. What color zone are you in? Thanks for sharing. You may notice I'm in the green zone. I'm feeling pretty comfortable and calm. I took a walk earlier this morning. Moving my body always helps me settle and feel a bit more comfortable. Helps clear my mind as well. What are some things that you do if you'd like to move to the green zone and feel more comfortable and settled? Thank you so much for sharing. You can hang on to that object or put it back where you found it, whatever's best for you. Now, as I mentioned, moving our bodies can help us clear our minds or feel more calm, but moving our bodies can also help us build our muscles and get strong. And we always practice moving together. And we use the month to help us, as well as our friend Big here. And we are going to do 9 exercises to start, because September is the 9th month. And if you've been watching along with me in season 3, we've been counting down. So we start at the month, it's 9, and then we'll count down. We'll do 8 moves and then 7 moves. I thought we could start with 9 side stretches. We can do these sitting or standing. All we have to do is stretch arms out wide and lean side to side. And we will do 9 of these. So count up with me as you stretch. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fantastic. Now, Fig is always showing us a move, and they are a little bit jumbled up today. I'm going to show you, imagine them moving in a lot of different ways for this one. It's because so many people have different ideas of what this looks like. Do you have any guess of what we should do 8 of? 8 dance moves. And dancing is kind of unique to all of us. Our bodies may feel a dance move is really comfortable or fun, and someone else's body may not like that dance move. Dance moves are also related to our culture and our heritage, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. So let's do 8 dance moves, however you'd like to do them. Count up to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next, we have 7 moves to do, and I thought we could spin. Now, if you like spinning, then feel free to stand up and spin with me. If spinning makes you feel dizzy or uncomfortable, just spin your finger while you're sitting. Let's do 7 spins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was getting dizzy there, so I spun my finger. Thanks for trying that out with me. Now, anytime you exercise or move your body, it's also really great to calm back down. And we do that by taking 3 big breaths. So go ahead and listen for my bell and breathe big with me as we settle back in together. Wonderful work building your muscles and hopefully clearing or settling your brain as well. Now, I mentioned that we were going to talk a little bit more about culture and heritage today. And you might be wondering, what in the world are you talking about, Mrs. A? And so I have a message here to help us better understand what I'm describing and learn a little bit more together. Dear diverse friends, there are so many different parts of our history, families, and experiences that make us who we are. Some ways people identify themselves is by their ethnicity and heritage. Ethnicity is usually used to describe where our family originated. For example, my father is from Greece, so I am half Greek. Heritage describes the terrific traditions, creative culture, and special celebrations your family has passed down or shared with you. Millions of people have Hispanic heritage, so I'm very excited to learn more about it and from some Hispanic authors and illustrators today. Love, Mrs. A. Remember, while you're listening to the message or looking at it carefully, see if you can notice any alliterations, onomatopoeias, or spoonerisms. Alliterations are words that are next to each other that start with the same beginning sound. Spoonerisms are words that are next to each other that switch the beginning sound. Usually it sounds really silly. And onomatopoeias are sound words like wow or bam. Did you notice anything in our message? Yeah, I noticed that there are millions of people with Hispanic or Latinx heritage. That's a lot of people. And so I'm really eager to share these beautiful books with you to learn a little bit more together. This first book I want to share with you, Rainbow Weaver, or Tejedora de Arcoiris, is written by Linda Elovitz Marshall and illustrated by Elisa Chavari. And this book is so beautiful, not only because the illustrations are fantastic and colorful and cheerful, but it's so beautiful because it teaches us about some of the history and the culture of rainbow weavers, people who weave clothes and then sell them or share them with their neighbors and community. And it also teaches us about persistence and creativity and courage to stick with the things that you want to do and never give up. And so we'll just look at a couple of pages together. I definitely recommend you grab this book. It is in English and in Spanish, and as I said, the pictures are really, really stunning. In and out, in and out. Michelle's mother and neighbors wove on backstrap looms. They wove as their mothers, grandmothers and great-grandmothers had done before them, as Mayan women had done for more than 2,000 years. So here's an example of that heritage we were talking about, things that your family has done and your family before them. Weaving is part of their culture or heritage. After a while, Ishel asked, "Mama, may I weave now?" Again, her mother shook her head. "Count threads with me, my love. I'll show you how we make designs." Ishel and her mother counted together. Hon, Kai, Oki, Kashi. With each additional color, the cloth grew longer and the design prettier. Ishel reached for some thread. "Please?" she asked. "No, my love," answered her mother. "You are still too young, and there is no extra thread." Ishel sounds like she really wants to weave and work with her mother. But her mother says, "No, not yet. You're too young. There's no extra thread. This is serious business." Pushing the bags aside, Ishel gathered branches and sticks. Some of the sticks were long and some were short. She carried the sticks and branches home and tied them together. What do you think Ishel is doing? Maybe she's trying to weave on her own? Let's find out. "What are you doing?" a neighbor asked. "Making a loom," Ishel answered. Her mother smiled. "But Ishel," she said, "we don't have any extra thread." "I know, Mama," she answered. "I won't take any." What idea do you think Ishel has? She's making her own loom so she can practice weaving, but she's not going to use any of the thread her mama asked her to let be. I wonder what ideas she has. Tears rolled down Ishel's cheeks. "There's no way my weaving will sell in the market," she thought. "No way I can help." Wiping her tears, Ishel headed toward the milpa again. Along the way, she kicked aside a plastic bag. Red, purple, orange, green, yellow, and blue bags were everywhere. They were in the fields, drooping from the branches and clogging roads and ditches. There were so many bags, it was hard for her to walk. Makes me feel sad that there's a lot of trash or litter of those plastic bags in her neighborhood on her walk. There are some beautiful bright colors, though. Angry, Ishel picked up a bag. She ripped it into shreds. Suddenly, she had an idea. What idea do you think she might have? Maybe. Well, you'll have to grab this book and find out for yourself. Rainbow Weaver is such a fabulous addition to any library, and there is a fantastic note in the back from the author about Guatemala, where the Mayan people in this story are from, and it tells you a little bit more about why she wrote this book and a bit about her life as well. And also, if you go visit the link in my description, you'll see there are some printables that match this book. There are paper dolls that you can color and cut out and other activities, all free to download, so be sure to check those out. This next book is a really fun way to practice learning some Spanish words. It is called Say Hola to Spanish, and it was written by Susan Middleton Elia, illustrated by Loretta Lopez. And I love this book because it rhymes and it teaches me so many Spanish words that I like to use throughout the day. Maybe you know some Spanish words. Maybe you are multilingual or bilingual and you speak Spanish as well. Fantastic. If you don't, like me, yet, that's okay. You can learn some starting words today and say hola to Spanish. And hola means hello. Spanish is fun, so give it a try. Hola is hello. Adios is goodbye. A dog is a perro. A cat is a gato. You drink from a vaso and eat from a plato. Are there any objects around your house that you could name in Spanish now? Maybe you have a perro or a gato. Maybe you are sipping from a vaso. Cup. A son is an hijo. A mother is a madre. Daughter is hija. And father is padre. You play in a parque. You live in a casa. Mama drinks coffee, cafe, from a taza. Any things around your space you can label now? Your hair is your pelo. Your nose is nariz. Your grandmother's perro is probably gris, gray. You sit on a silla. You eat at a mesa. A perfect surprise is called a sorpresa. Do you like sorpresas? Surprises? You bite with dientes, but don't bite the dentista. Just wait for your checkup and read a revista. What do you think a revista is that they are reading? A magazine. Your eyes are your ojos, your hands are your manos. Both ojos and manos help play el piano. You study in an escuela and dance at a fiesta. Your afternoon nap is called a siesta. Anybody like to take siestas or naps? I know I do. That's another way sometimes I move toward the green zone. If I'm feeling in the red zone, I might need a rest. Friends, this book has many, many more words to learn and many more rhymes to hear, and it is such a fun way to practice learning Spanish. So grab that from your library or check out the bookshop link in my description if you'd like to own your own copy. Last but not least is one of my personal favorite books by a dear friend named Dia Mixon. And this book is called One Whole Me, about a character or a person who has two different heritages or cultures. And I am connected to that. As I said, my father is from Greece, so I'm half Greek, and my mother has a bunch of different cultures and heritage in her family. And so I'm connected in a lot of different ways to a lot of different people or groups of people around the world. And this book, One Whole Me, is a really great way to remind you or remind us that we are made up of a lot of different experiences and a lot of different cultures, and it's all beautiful and it makes one whole us. And I love this book because it has Spanish words in it as well as English. And so we practice some Spanish words together here, and we'll hear some other Spanish words in this story. And a super helpful thing in the back, Dia has included a glossary with the Spanish words that are in her book and tells you a bit more about what they mean. We'll look at just a few pages together, but if you'd like to hear this whole story, I have it up in my Read Aloud playlist, so go check it out. One Whole Me. Mommy and Poppy met a long time ago, and after a while, their love started to grow. They're from países diferentes, divided by the sea. Two different countries make one whole me. And you may see países diferentes is in a special font there. And below, two different countries. So países diferentes means two different countries. I was born in El Norte, and I have roots in the south. A fusion of words comes out of my mouth. In English, I'm here, and in Spanish, estoy aquí. Two different languages make one whole me. Here we have that special font again. Estoy aquí means what they said in English here. I'm here. Estoy aquí. Are you here today? Estoy aquí. I'm here. I have relatives close by and even more far away. Los amo a todos. What more can I say? Whether cerca or far, we're part of the same tree. Two different families make one whole me. Whether near or far, your family is still connected to you, and you love them all. even if you don't get to see them all the time. It's muy importante for me to announce that for some, my name is hard to pronounce. It takes un poco de practice. Repetition is key. 2 different last names make one whole me. My name is... What is your name? Say it loud and proud. And when you're meeting someone new, they may have trouble learning it. I know that a lot of people have trouble learning my name, so you just have to ask them to practice a little bit and be patient as they learn. Now, like I said, this book, One Whole Me, is really fabulous, and you can hear the whole thing in my read aloud that you can find in the playlist called Read Alouds. So go ahead and check that out. Friends, I hope you enjoyed listening to some of these books by Hispanic authors and illustrators, learning a little bit more about Spanish or some history of people who are Hispanic. There are so many more books and so many more things to learn, so be sure to follow me on Instagram to hear some other book recommendations, and make sure you hit that red subscribe button if you haven't already. Before we go, we are going to take our mindful moment, and today we're going to practice listening. But we are going to turn into elephants. So, will you take your hands and cup them over your ears? Give yourself big elephant ears. And notice, how do the sounds change when you have your ears cupped like elephants, or when you don't? We're going to listen for 1 minute, and you can leave your hands cupped that whole time or switch it up. Do some experiments and see what you notice about the sounds around you. What might be making those sounds? See what you notice when you change the shape of your ears. Let's listen together for 1 minute. More seconds. Keep listening. Friends, what did you hear? Yeah, maybe it was really quiet for you and you only heard your own breath. That's okay. Maybe it was really loud and there were many noises. That's okay too. Did you notice if you preferred listening with your ears cupped like elephants or without? I thought it felt funny on my ears, but I could hear a bit better when I cupped them. Thank you so much for practicing that mindful moment with me today. Before you go, I want to remind you that I love you because you're you, not because of what you do. And I can't wait to see you next time.